episode 33 of the Taylor Trash Podcast. Welcome, Cynthia and
Close.
Jonah. It's close enough.
It's close
Skylar
enough. It's fine.
and Jonah are with us today. I'm choking myself here.
And me too.
Oh, yeah. And,
Great, Julie.
And Julia. Part of the crew.
I'm eating lunch very quickly. So I apologize if you're watching this and you're hungry.
Yes. Well, thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
You're welcome.
All right. And you're not going to get in trouble for being here on a work day, are you?
Oh, no.
Good. Good.
They'll be like, why were you in your scrubs? And I'm like, just felt like it.
Hey.
Felt natural.
In case somebody hurts themselves.
Right.
You know, ready to rock and roll.
Right.
And Skylar and that.
Immoral.
I like that.
Well, I had it was a costume.
Yes.
The Smitty Warber Jaegersman from SpongeBob.
Mm-hmm.
And
Naturally.
then when I picked it up from the car, the cups just fell off. And so
I can see the glue.
it's just this, yeah, you can. It didn't work.
He
so.
got that in Gloveland, didn't he? Is that what he got? No. What did
No, it
No.
was from a grave.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay.
You
also
got a
had
balloon in Gloveland.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember, he was number one.
Okay.
Number one.
Mine was supposed to be the hash slinging slasher.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, I remember
see.
that.
Yeah,
But then
no.
I had to do grown up things.
No.
I'm dressing up at work tomorrow.
Ooh.
I'm going to be Gaston.
Oh, I thought you were
Wow.
just going to be Julie Taylor.
Yeah, same thing. It's the same thing. You know what? It's funny. You said you work at Shakertown. I said, I'll get some Shaker trivia. And after 2 minutes, I was so bored. I was like, I don't know if I want to devote brain power
I know.
to learning
Look,
about it.
if you do you have opinions on the Shakers in general?
Do I have opinions on the Shakers? No. There's only 3 left.
Well, but I mean, like,
Not really.
I think celibacy is like overrated.
One thing they had going.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, the Shakers were pretty cool. Like, they were pretty chill. Like, I mean, they weren't really like if you got pregnant or if you wanted to leave, like
they would
that
let you
town-
leave.
Yeah, and they would like help you raise money to. Like,
Sure,
no,
but
it
absolutely.
wasn't-
But when you became a Shaker, everything that you owned became part of the community.
Yes.
So
yeah.
if you got pregnant and you were going to leave, and which was common, I mean,
Yeah.
not common, but like it happened because there would be husbands and wives who would
Yeah.
decide we're going to become Shakers. We want to do this.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh, let's meet in the barn, which is something people did. And then they would come up pregnant. And so they could leave, but if they did, they had nothing.
Yeah.
They owned nothing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Would the child then be the property of the community if they elected to stay?
I don't know, but I do know,
Well-
like, generally, the children that were part of Shakers
Mhm.
were orphans that the
Mhm.
community adopted, which is great. It's great to adopt orphans, but they're all raised, the children are raised separately from the adults, and adults are completely separate from the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. There's like
All the
separate
time.
doors and everything. Yeah.
That's more than I learned in my 2 minutes of research, actually.
So,
Oh,
It's
yeah,
got
I
it,
have
yeah.
strong opinions about the Shakers
Oh.
that are
Yeah.
negative.
Well,
Oh, okay.
they were pretty pro women, though, weren't they? I mean, didn't they?
Well, the leader of it was Mother something.
Ooh.
Mm.
And
Mother Ann, maybe. Yeah, I don't
Women
know.
can
There's
be
Anne.
villains, though. Disney has shown that.
That is true.
numerous
That is
Absolutely.
true.
times.
Yeah.
Women
That's
are,
true.
can be terrible.
Right.
women can
I was
going
going to say the name, but I never say it right. What's Maleficent?
Maleficent.
Yes.
Skylar was actually gripping the steering wheel. She says, God, I hope Chuck
I
doesn't
said,
ask
I hope
about
they
the
don't ask me
Shakers.
too much about Shakers.
Right.
'Cause this is like,
She's like, I haven't studied.
I did
I read a fiction story about the Shakers that was written in the 60s.
oh, okay.
But it's by a famous Kentucky author, and I read it, and just through that story was like, is this what this was really like? And researched, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I hate the Shakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It radicalized you.
Didn't they also buy slaves and free them?
Yes.
I heard that, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not
That
too
is
bad.
true.
Is that what you don't like about them? Is that your negative?
Oh,
Well,
God.
the story I read that was written in the 1960s did have racist.
Undertones?
Yeah.
Yeah, the main character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was the 1700s when this story was set, and the main character.
Oh, come on.
her
Everybody
husband.
in the 1700s was a little bit racist.
Right. But the main character and her husband decided to join the Shakers, and they had a slave,
Mhm.
three people that were enslaved and belonged to them. And because this white man and woman decided to join the Shakers, they also had to. Like they didn't give them the option of like, would you rather just go? They were like, come on, we're all joining the Shakers.
Holla.
And then, but the white lead, the white main character was like, let's say that the enslaved woman was Skylar. It was like Skylar in her simple mind couldn't possibly understand, and what a wonderful thing I'm doing for Skylar to separate her from Jonah and to go to the Shakers. And I was like, oh my gosh, but
Separating me from
but it was
Jonah
the
would be a
1700s.
wonderful
It
thing.
was the
Right.
1700s, so I guess they were trying to be like true to what a character in the 1700s would think like. But
Mhm.
also, I was imagining I'm a black woman reading this, and I'd be
Right.
like, no, I hate this.
Like,
Yeah.
did the author like relish in writing this? And she's like, I can't wait to like dunk on black people.
No, I don't think it was
Yeah,
like
right.
intentionally. But it was also written. I mean, it was
Right,
also
yeah.
written during the Civil Rights Movement. You know, during that time when
Oh,
right.
who
yes.
knows if this lady was.
It was like her
Racist.
personal intrusive thoughts.
I don't know.
But that's the thing about reading books in the 60s. It's like, were they progressive writing this, or they wanted to publicize and be like, hey, it was just the 1700s? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, but anyway, it opened my eyes a lot about the Shakers. Sorry to go on a tangent.
I did think one thing that is really cool about the Shakers is they thought that like since everybody was created in God's image, that the second coming of Christ would be a woman. And they thought that we were already in the millennial with Anne. They thought Anne was the second coming of Christ.
Okay.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, I
But-
knew
Crazy, right?
she
Most
was
of the
like
stuff I know
way
is
high
about
up.
herbs actually because I
Well,
was the herb.
they were like
lady,
super
so-
great artisans, and
Yeah.
they rotated the work. Like, you know, this month you're going to be outside and you're going to be inside, and then we'll switch.
Yeah.
But in my story,
There
the
you
woman
go.
wanted to
There
leave,
you
and her
go.
husband was
I just-
super
Shakers.
into it and didn't want to leave.
Oh.
And so then there was a school teacher who's not a Shaker. He just came in to teach the children because they wanted a good school teacher, and she fell in love and ran off with the school teacher.
Ooh.
Yay!
Mm.
Yay! Their marriage
Yeah,
was ruined, and
yeah,
she ran off with the school
right.
teacher. But I, you know, she wanted out, and her husband was like, "No, I'm all about this." And it was the 1700s, and she didn't have any options.
Right.
What's a woman by herself with nothing
Right.
going to do in the 1700s?
Not a whole lot.
Mm.
Not much.
It's
no.
true.
Right.
Now let's talk about urgent treatment.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Here are my opinions.
Yeah, right. Julie, what's your opinion on urgent treatment centers?
Yes, last time I saw you at work, I was positive for COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Oh whoa!
Twice in 1 year. This
Mm,
year.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't think I've ever had COVID actually.
It's
If
well,
Chuck would
Lord.
just get vaccinated, he would have been.
I'm vaccinated. And,
Anti-vax Chuck.
yeah, and I have a booster. I'm good. I'm good. I didn't have a second booster because I got COVID, and then I just haven't got it.
Yeah.
Well, you should be fine. I mean, if depending on
expert
what
opinion. You should be
Yeah, you
fine.
should be okay.
All right.
Me at the front
See?
desk.
Well,
You're
but
fine.
you haven't had
See?
COVID since when?
June.
So you're ready for a booster. Because I had
Ready for
COVID.
another round of COVID.
I had
Yeah,
COVID.
that's-
I
Yeah,
had
right.
COVID at the end of July, 1st of August.
Yeah.
I was the last. I was the holdout.
Oh.
Oh, you were the last one.
Yeah, she went almost 2 years. 2 years, I guess.
Yeah.
I went at physically touching a child with COVID and putting medicine in his mouth and taking his temperature because I couldn't trust him
She
to do it by
didn't. She
himself
didn't take it,
and
but,
still
you
not
know.
get it.
Wow.
I had COVID twice.
Yeah.
Not in the same year, so I can't beat you.
Aw.
I had it in 2021, and then 2022 is when I had it. So I bought my house in early 2022, and my little sister Trojan horse the virus into the home.
Oh, nice.
And then
Nice.
refused to quarantine to her room, so she was like a little anti-vaxxer.
Oh.
This ain't real.
She's chasing people.
Yeah, right.
Ah, get away.
Yeah, right. She didn't want to be alone, obviously, but it was like, you need to go to your room.
I got caught up on a lot of daytime TV. We don't have cable here, so I was watching a lot of Me TV and
Okay, we have
Oh,
all
me
of the
TV.
streaming services.
not in the
Don't
bedroom.
worry.
Not in the bedroom. It sucks because we have like the original Apple TV back there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The only options you have on that are Apple Plus,
Yeah,
and
right.
Netflix, and HBO Max, and Stars. Those are the only ones you have. Oh no, you don't have
See,
HBO.
I was
Sounds like you're set.
It was like I was in the 1700s.
Yeah,
I
right.
should have written a book.
You don't have Hulu. in
Right.
there.
Chuck's simple mind can't handle
Yeah.
more streaming
Yeah.
services
I was
than
like,
that.
what?
Have you guys ever heard of Baby Feet?
No.
No, but I
Don't,
was going to say it's like
Baby
Pinocchio,
feet?
but not.
Okay, you
Does
can
it
buy
pass
Baby
the
Feet.
breakfast test?
You used to have to buy it on Amazon, but they do have it at Walmart now, or maybe Baby Foot. I think it's Baby Feet, but it's these little. It's like a chemical peel for your feet, kind of.
Oh.
Like you
Okay.
put this gel in these little booties, and you wear it for an hour. Like you just sit around with this stuff on your feet.
Gosh.
And then you rinse it off, go about your day. And in like 4 or 5 days, all the skin on your feet starts peeling
Your feet
off.
fall off. No.
Like kind of like you have a sunburn and you're peeling.
Right.
No pain or anything at all. Like it doesn't hurt at all.
Okay.
But like between your toes, everything will just
crazy.
peel off. So like you get up in the morning and look in your sheets and it's like, bleh.
Oh my god.
But-
God. It's like you take them off and it's like baby feet.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you have like
Really
baby
yeah,
tiny,
right, like
yeah.
little baby feet, like Deadpool.
Oh,
So you,
Yeah.
you could go down a few shoe sizes.
Yeah. Deadpool in his little baby hand.
Today's episode is sponsored by Baby Feet. Pick up a pair today. So how is Scrooge going? You guys living it up?
Yeah. So
I hear it's not as fun as Inherit the Wind was.
You know,
I
it's
heard
not.
that.
It's,
I heard that
it's
too.
difficult.
Yeah.
It's 40 people,
Yes.
and
Yes, it's
it-
we had a lot of
40
people too, but we still had fun.
musicals have they're very different than a straight play.
Yes.
And I heard when you all were doing Inherit the Wind, when you had to sing Marching to Zion, that was difficult to get people to sing Marching to Zion and
Yeah,
not
but it was-
stand and sing. So
they got it down
imagine-
perfect though.
Okay, but imagine doing that with 30 songs, right?
Yeah.
So
But there's also just one pitch pipe in the beginning.
It was funny because backstage, I was there when Greg would do it. He would we'd start it, and then everybody would sing. Then he would turn around, and look at me, and go, "Eh,"
Yeah, I know.
like,
No, one day after rehearsal, he was like, "Do y'all not hear the pipe?"
Yeah, right.
I was like,
when I ring the pipe,
But
I
look,
do not know.
having grown up in a Southern Baptist church around here, it sounds like people singing at church because
"Yeah."
That
people
is-
singing
Yeah.
at church are horrible too.
I grew up in a Southern Baptist
Right.
church.
Well, ours
Yeah.
like when there was a fifth Sunday,
Uh-huh.
they would
Oh,
have the fifth
I
Sunday
went in, actually.
singing, right? And people
Okay.
would get up and sing. And sometimes, like you're like, "Wow, that's really good," but most of the time it was like
No, it was
how
always, it
many
was always bad.
times do you have a fifth Sunday in 1 year?
4.
that was
Huh.
a very fast response. I was like,
Oh.
Just
You
4
do.
because I was ready for those.
It's like
fifth
every 3
Sundays.
months. There's a fifth Sunday.
look at you calendar nerd.
That's pretty cool.
I think that's
Interesting.
also when we did communion. I think it was in quarters as well. Like in the Southern
That's
Baptist, you
cool.
only did it.
So was your communion in church? Was it more like a class you had to go through, or you just like
Oh.
chose whenever you did it?
So it was just, the communion of the juice and the wafer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like take it like a
So
shot. I thought it was
you
really
if you
cool.
were baptized, you got to do it.
Ah,
In our church that I grew up in, if you were not baptized, don't you dare try.
because
Don't
you'll
you dare.
burn in hell.
really
Yeah.
with us, they were just
Like,
like
the children
"Come get
couldn't
it.
or anything.
Come
Well,
get
in
the
ours it
wafer."
was really big. Like you knew something was up because all the deacons, like 10 guys, right, would have on suits. And they're all in the line up front, and there's a lot of pomp and circumstance where they pass around these trays and everybody's silent, and you hold your cracker. And everybody in the whole church holds the cracker until the preacher says the Bible verse about the cracker, and then everybody at the same time takes the
Yes.
cracker. And then they pass out the cup, and you hold your tiny little cup of grape juice, and everybody holds it until they say, "Do it."
That's what they say.
Just do it,
actually.
Nike.
Do it.
Yes.
The Nike symbol comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But then
loved-
we went to a church that had communion every
Yeah.
week, and it was like personal, and I don't feel like he's
love
that
the
way.
drama behind communion because sometimes whenever there's like family drama in somebody's family, like the family wouldn't take communion, and my mom would be
Oh,
like,
really?
"Something's going on in that family.
Oh wow.
We have to pray for them."
Okay.
I said, "I don't want
Whoa.
to pray for them. I want to know."
Yeah.
Yeah. Aren't you
That can make
supposed to
your
like
prayers
confess
more
your sins to the
specific.
Yeah,
church and be
right,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, what's going on
They're like
there?"
unspoken prayers. I'm like, I just can't do that.
Isn't that
God
the
needs to
worst?
know.
When people are like, "God knows," I'm like,
Okay, but I don't know.
But
we
and
wanna
I need
know.
to know.
Yeah, right.
I want to be very specific if I'm praying for you.
Uh,
Yeah, right. I want to.
I already made that joke.
Did you?
You weren't listening. I just made it. Jonah heard it. He was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I want to send his strongest angels to help you, and I can't do that if I
Aw,
don't
y'all,
know
that's
exactly.
mean. That's mean. We care about everyone's concerns.
So you're stage managing the play, right?
I am assistant stage manager. I'm in charge of all of the set changes and the fly
Oh
rail.
my gosh.
And right now, I'm the only person doing that. So I look like a chicken without its head 99% of the time. Yeah.
I'll be
Nice.
backstage helping you though.
They'll just, oh, really?
Mhm.
No, you won't. Really?
Sid asked me, and I told her I would
Oh.
Oh, that's
Well,
fine.
there
run
you
the
go.
fly.
I said, well,
I
now
thought-
we're both screwed, so.
Well, I was also asked to be in the orchestra, and that's
Okay.
a much
Oh, for your guitar? Or
Yeah, what instrument are you
With
going to be
what?
playing?
bass. You did that right,
With the-
but
Yeah.
bass guitar.
Oh, there's going to be a live band? For
Oh,
the
yeah.
show?
I said, he's conducting,
Ooh.
actually.
The way that Greg's hair would just get messier and messier as like the more we did it, like he become
Yeah.
more disheveled the more he heard it.
My favorite hair of Inherit the Wind was Keith's hair.
Oh, wasn't that the
Spray
best?
it yellow.
But it
I
would
loved it.
stay. It was he had to do it.
It was a helmet.
Helmet.
Yeah,
It
like
was a
rock
helmet.
hard.
Yeah.
Also, it wouldn't
I touched it one
swing
day and I was
around.
like, man, that ain't going nowhere.
I
You know?
know.
Don't get near an open flame either.
No, yeah. And he's tried to spray his eyebrows one day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I told him to take it off immediately. I was like, do not do that.
I got some gray hairspray. I thought I'll try that early on, and it looked insane.
There's just something about gray. I mean, excuse me, the hairspray hair color.
That's what it was.
Doesn't look good.
It looked ridiculous.
One time you were in a show where you were supposed to look younger,
Death
and
of a
you
Salesman.
you bought root touch up,
Oh,
which is like brown or whatever that you just
Yeah.
spray on the roots where it's gray, and that looked all right.
Yeah, that was okay.
But
it blended well.
Yeah, you did it in your beard, and it was like, dang, that's a brown.
Oh, but not for the show, though,
brown
because I
beard.
didn't have any facial hair for that show.
Yeah,
Oh,
but like you practiced at home.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. It was cool.
I too had to look younger for this show. My hair is naturally gray, and Karen's like every week she was like, "When are you gonna get rid of that?" It also didn't help that I was completely disheveled the entire run of the show.
yes.
Like, did not
Oh my
know
gosh.
where I was. Like, hair was messy, wrong side of the stage. Like, trying to get with it so hard.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Really?
When we got to
It's
tech,
called
week-
acting.
Oh, okay.
It's acting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's acting.
You got it all
Look-
figured out
look
by
it
the
up
time
sometime.
Yeah, when
Look
we
it
got
up.
to tech week, I feel like I was on it. But one time, I went on stage and I felt like I finally had it right.
Then we struck the set.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. I finally had it right. But as everything was being carried away,
And then notes.
no,
then the
I
notes.
finally had it right. And then I was sitting there waiting for Chuck to come on stage, and he wasn't coming on.
Just
Oh,
I
wasn't
said,
happening.
I guess I'll just do this solo.
When was it?
Second to last show. Just
You
sit
didn't
next
come
to
on
me
stage?
I don't
in the
remember.
blackout.
I
Yeah, I
will
was
say
like,
the.
In the blackout.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like the second to the last show that Friday, or was it no, that's Saturday, right? There was in my very last scene where I come up with my little suitcase and I'm like, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
There was someone who had his foot in the
Oh.
aisleway, and I tried to get around it, and I almost fell.
Oh, like
getting up
like a
on
person
stage.
watching this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, nobody noticed this, and my friend texted me and was like, you almost fell getting on stage, didn't you? I was like, shoot.
Mm.
Yeah.
the amount of man spreaders in that theater that night was
seriously.
bad.
And he
'Cause
was
you had to,
he was
like,
wearing like velvet shoes and stuff, so I was like,
Velvet
this is a man
shoes.
of importance.
Right.
Yeah, there's just
Yeah.
a pimp in the audience. I don't know.
like
Wow.
man
Yeah.
spreading into the aisle.
That's
Yes.
the best.
And I was like, I'm gonna have to get around him. And then I almost just tripped getting on stage. And then like
Well.
I turned around and nobody was really, freaking out about it. So I was like, oh, nobody noticed.
And a friend's like, I saw it. I saw
Yes.
it.
Took me out of the story completely.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Oh no, if marching through to Zion didn't take you out of the story, then
Yeah,
that
that's true.
definitely did. Yeah.
I would always look, and me and Greg at the end of that one scene, I would look over and see that half-eaten corn dog on the floor. I was like, I want to break character
funny.
just staring at that corn dog.
I never saw a corn dog on the floor.
It was
Well, from the
rolled
stage,
away.
you could see it.
Oh.
That's theatrical magic.
Well, look,
Yeah.
I will just say I saw it. I never saw it through ever. The beginning, and then I had to leave for like 30 minutes in the middle, and then the end. And then the
okay.
next night I came, but I had to come like 20, 30 minutes late. And then I came the next weekend and had to leave in the middle. So I saw it all, but never in one
sitting.
in one
yeah.
sitting.
Yeah.
But I was sucked into the story the whole time. I was never just
Really?
like,
That's good.
no, it was good. Like I was into it the whole time. I was never like, oh, there's Skylar.
I was so
Or, you
nervous
know.
about doing
Yeah.
those two mental breakdowns on stage, like the one
That would be
the
hard.
religious one, and then the
I'm
one on
glad
the
I
stand.
didn't
I
have
was
to
like,
do anything
Me
there.
and
neither.
I told Jonah, I was like, if someone starts laughing to this, it will break my spirit.
You
and
know,
will
I
not
did.
do it anymore.
She did
actually.
laugh. Julie did laugh.
I did laugh.
Someone laughed.
No, a long-
someone laughed in the
She's
front
breaking down.
row.
A
A
Someone
long
Hilarious.
time ago,
Yeah.
I did Steel Magnolias,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh,
I
yeah.
played Shelby, and like
Mhm.
she has that diabetic
Yeah.
episode. I remember thinking like, I feel so awkward. I can't do this. It's just awkward. It's just awkward. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to do. And I remember feeling like I'm not going to do this correctly
Yeah.
and believable.
And then you got diabetes, and then you.
So I
You
really
got
got
it.
it. Yeah, right.
It
Yeah.
was like
No, I
method.
just faked it, and I hope it was okay. I apologize if you came to see that, and it was horrible.
No, the part where I have to like get on my hands and knees and be like, no, please don't damn my boyfriend to hell. I heard there was
You
one
should
night
have done
where
it like
I
that.
Heard, yeah.
That
I
you
heard
should
someone in the
have
I was
front
actually moved just
there was
now.
one
Yeah.
night. There was one night where I heard someone in the front row go, "Ha!" and then just slap their hand over their mouth, and I was like,
That
"Shoot!"
the
I was like,
night
shoot,
that.
shoot.
Look, I lost my mind though that first time. I didn't know Loretta was going to do it, but she was like, "Not anymore, you ain't." Like I just laughed out loud.
I
from
know.
the
The
audience.
night there was one night that London and Damani came.
Yeah.
Oh man, it killed me.
I got a little nervous that day
Oh,
too because
man.
I was like, man, ain't no telling what they're gonna say.
Oh, I
'Cause
know.
Because I can
the
hear
The
them
meanest,
clearly.
most honest people you'll meet are 14-year-olds, like
Oh,
14,
absolutely.
15-year-olds. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, hey, how's it going? Ew, your breast stinks. Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Like, oh, okay, let me just
sorry about that.
leave.
We
They
live with
just-
2 of 15-year-olds. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like sit up straighter when they walk in the room and like, ooh, hey.
You're like
They
scared.
don't
Afternoon.
walk
Cool
around.
kids have entered.
Well, but now, yeah, breaking down on stage, I was because when Greg seen when he had to do that stroke, I
God.
thought, man, I'm glad I ain't got to do nothing like that.
Yeah,
Oh
man,
my
it's
And
hard.
you crying, I was like, I'm glad I ain't got to do nothing
Like
like that.
I would just be hyperventilating. I would get off stage, and Steve would Steve would escort me off stage. And as soon as we got off stage, he'd be like, "You can do that better," and he would tell me how to fix it. And I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "Thanks,
You
Steve."
go- Then you
I was like,
put this
"Thank you."
dress on, Steve.
I was
Oh,
like, "Okay,
Steve.
thanks." Man, every single time he'd be like, "Eh." He's like, "That was good. You could do it better tomorrow, though." I'd be like, "Thank you."
What does he want you to do? Like just start wailing?
I don't know. I don't know.
I guess
I have
technically
no
he was
idea.
assistant director.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
he was just giving you some.
yeah. He was
He was
giving
giving
me
you a
notes,
note,
yeah.
a very
I would get off
specific
stage-
note, like
I
do
would
it
get off
better.
stage, and he would grab my arm, and I would turn around, and he'd be like, "This is what you need to do next time.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
Tell me
Do
everything
tell.
right now.
Do
Your
tell.
wisdom." Yeah.
I was in a play and I had to yell in somebody's face. And while I
She
was yelling at him, I
loved it.
spit on him accidentally in the middle of a play. I whispered, "Sorry." After I spit on him
Yeah. Yeah.
and was like, "What? Why did I do that?"
Did you just? What was it like?
Because
just a
I was like,
little spit?
"Greed and hammer," and I'm like, "Sorry."
Yeah. Did you
And I'm
hawk it
just-
up and spit in his
No, it
face?
was just like, you're
Oh.
yelling and spit flies
Well,
out.
that's
Yeah.
Right, but I apologized.
Man, Greg
like,
would do that with that chicken in his
sorry.
mouth.
But it doesn't have
Oh.
like it was not in
man.
character.
Oh, man.
I'm supposed to be like seething and just staring at him, and I went, "Sorry."
I-
the amount of food that Greg had to eat.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That's my favorite thing is eating in a play. Just cheese and sausage balls and
I can't remember
so
if it was
great.
Keith or Lila where they sit on that bench in front of Greg after he gets done eating the chicken and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it was one of them, and I can't remember who it was, but they said it was like the splash zone, but for chicken. I was
Yeah,
like,
there
this
was
is-
chicken kind
oh,
of flying
God.
everywhere when he was talking
Oh
about
my
it.
God.
Yes, everywhere.
what makes you feel any
No.
better? I was spit in his face constantly when I was interrogating him.
God.
I
like,
didn't
I-
get spit on
Like
at all
I could
during the
just
show.
see it because I'm in his face and I'm like, I'm just spitting all over Greg.
Oh,
control
in
it.
Act 2, Scene 1, the
Yeah.
longest
Yeah.
The longest
scene
For
in-
everybody
no,
but me and
That is
Greg.
Right, yeah.
purgatory.
I remember like there one show I was looking around, everybody was yawning on stage,
Oh, yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
stifle they're like
Yes, yeah.
yeah, like trying to stifle their yawns. Lila just zoned out, just looking into the heavens.
Yeah.
Like,
There was one time where Elijah has to start clapping in the middle of it.
Oh yeah.
And Lila zoned out so hard that she started clapping with
Yeah.
him.
Oh, that's
I
the
know.
best.
I looked over. I said, "Oh,
Lila was just like, and then she stopped because she realized nobody else was clapping.
Whoa, I'm supposed to be against this guy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
just clapping with him." I said, "Okay."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be directing a play,
I
Oh,
am.
you are.
so you two are.
I was just discussing that with
Yeah,
Beth
Jonah
Marlowe.
has been talking about it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
All
the
bad
play
things.
is called Dearly Departed.
Oh,
And auditions are January 8th and 9th. And then the show is the last weekend in February and the first weekend in March. And it's a comedy. I think like 4 or 5 men, 4 or 5 women,
Yeah.
something like that. This man dies, and his wife is a character, and his 2 grown sons and their wives are characters. The dead guy has a sister who's like a religious nut. And she has a son who won't get a job and won't go to church, and so it's funny, and it's like goofy funny where they're all
Right.
you
thank
know
God.
they're all fighting
Yeah.
about something, and it's all he won't get a job. These 2 can't have a baby. These 2 have kids and they can't stand them. And
But in the middle of it, there's this huge existential crisis.
No.
Where you have to go to these extreme mental states. and
okay, no,
it's-
he hasn't read the script. So it should
There's
be
a
fun.
religious
It should be
breakdown on
it should be
stage.
It's crazy,
fun.
it's crazy.
I directed a play once where they murder somebody really early on, and she has a knife sticking out of her chest, and she has to lay on the ground dead the whole show. And it was high school, and this girl like wanted to be in the play but couldn't really
Oh
make it to
my
rehearsal.
God.
So I was like, "You can be the victim," and she
The
was like,
dead
"Okay,
girl.
totally." So she has to lay there facing the audience, dead the whole show because she has one knife sticking out of her chest, and they're trying to figure out who did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the end, it turns out they roll her over and she has 17 knives in her back. Everybody did it, whatever. But
Oh, okay.
she had to lay there. You
you
couldn't
go.
see this.
Spoiler
on TV.
alert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
right,
It's
yeah.
called Murder in the Knife Room.
I wrote a play while I was at Transy that we did where someone was murdered in it, but I just put stuff in front of them because they had to
Oh,
come back
yeah.
as like a ghost later on and like kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So you could just see her legs sticking out. And then she was a pretty good actress. So like whenever she's pretty good, she's okay. But whenever she got murdered, she would like kick her legs up because it was like blunt force.
Okay, yeah.
So she would just like, and I was like, oh, that's so nice. It's such a little
Nice
yeah,
little touch.
nice little touch.
One
yeah.
time, the high school did a show where somebody died, but they fell over behind a couch because then a character looked behind the couch and yelled, "She's dead." But that was the same show where the kids did not learn their lines. Dr. Gebert was directing it, and they didn't learn their lines. And I was like, you know what, Frida? I will sit behind the couch with a script. And I will just help you. And if the children do not know their lines,
Just
I will
like professional theater.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
I
like it.
will just say their lines quietly. She
Do
was
that?
like, and she was like, that's what we're going to have to do. So before the show started, I would go center stage and sit behind the couch, crisscross applesauce with the script in my lap.
Just reading through it.
And then like when the person died, they had to like fall around me. And then the she's dead guy had to point down there and pretend like I wasn't there.
And there was a reason they didn't learn.
You're all
the
getting
lines.
Well, they were children.
F's.
Yeah.
How old were they?
They were, like juniors and seniors in high school. It just,
Oh,
showtime,
really?
and it just
Are
didn't
you
come together.
serious? Junior and senior in high school?
Yeah, I mean, it was,
Sickening.
and I would say 90% of the cast knew their lines.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's not like nobody. It's just there were a few people. I mean, it was maybe 20, 30 kids in this,
Yeah.
and there was just a few lines they never ever got. And,
I am that 10%.
and
though.
so instead of me being like off in the wings trying to holler it in, I just said I'll sit behind the couch.
Yeah.
And that way I can quietly
That's
say that.
fun.
So
Making memories.
There you go.
High school
yeah.
theater is a different
Yeah.
breed of theater.
yeah. And I also was
yeah.
not
Like an
teaching it or
inbreed.
anything, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how I got chosen to sit behind the couch because I wasn't really involved in it. But then I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
You're the lucky one, yeah.
They were sitting there. They're like, the librarian. I love a good old challenge because we have patients who use their primary language as Spanish, and I love it. And they fill it out in Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
do a good old challenge at
That
work.
would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
enjoy that.
And I put Google on my computer. I'm
Mhm.
like typing it in.
The good news is a nurse at my clinic is fluent in Spanish, so I would just like
Oh, that's
slide it
so
over to her and
nice.
she just figures it
Ideals
out for me.
meal.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't
That's
know.
all I don't know a lot.
I didn't know you were bilingual. Yeah.
Donde estás baño?
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Where's the
Quesadilla.
Okay.
You didn't
Yeah.
really say that correctly, but
bathroom? Hey, they would have been
I got
like,
the
they would have been
gist.
like, Donde and baño. He wants to go to the bathroom. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
There you go.
There you go.
I can say, oh my God,
Yeah.
and where's the bathroom?
I've never been to Mexico. Have you guys been to Mexico?
Yeah.
He loves Mexico. Like
Love
he wants to
Mexico.
live in
I have
Mexico.
not.
My goal is to
traveled at all,
retire in
really.
Mexico.
Oh.
Really?
It's not her goal, so it's not going to happen. But still, because we're
She's like,
shakers.
I bleed red, white,
so I
and blue.
gotta you go wherever
You're
she-
tethered. You're tethered.
No,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just-
You have to wait for another teacher to come in and swoop you.
Then be like,
off your feet. Yeah.
And I've seen the
Yes,
teacher.
I-
Oh, the shaker? She is the husband in the shaker.
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
holding you back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
I have people in my family who make a little more than $9 an hour, and they ask me for money.
Well, it's communal money.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
We're the shakers. You're the shakers. Remember,
right.
And this is a
Communal.
community
Oh,
money.
okay.
Everything you make goes into a pot.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why doesn't everything you make go in that pot?
I'd say
I think you've
90%
opened-
of my what goes into that pot.
That's true.
And what I have left, I pay for the cell phone.
Valid.
And all our streaming services.
No, you don't.
Except for 2.
Well, my pot is a little empty,
Mm.
and
Yeah, right. Can I join your?
Yeah, can I join your
Shaker.
community?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I will give of what I have.
All right. Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, I do have gifts for you too.
Whoa!
Oh.
What?
One for you. And
oh
one
my
for,
gosh,
Oh, I love
merch.
this.
We have merch.
Yes.
Dude.
Feel free to wash them or not. Your
I
choice.
would. They've been sitting on a table for several months.
2 months anyway.
Julie spit on this
No.
2 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, look
Yes.
at that.
So I don't. Do you drink
Wow.
coffee? I don't know if
I
I
love
do.
coffee. I love coffee.
Awesome.
Not. Speaking of coffee, we were on stage and Chuck had poured coffee.
Yes.
for
I said
us.
you want some, and I was like,
I said sure, and I took a big sweat. I was like,
it was
So bitter.
It was black,
yeah, right.
just black as night
I said,
coffee.
Karen was like, your voice was a lot deeper that night.
He's like, you get a cigarette.
yeah, right.
But it'll hold water
Oh,
is an
okay.
option. Soda, Well, I
Any
think
liquid.
any liquid.
Any liquid.
Any liquid.
Any.
And a few solids. You know, if you want to put cereal, if all your bowls are dirty, you
Oh,
can.
that's true.
Oh
that's
my
true.
God! Speaking of cereal, so I ate a bowl of cereal. Had been 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
Sugar cookie toast crunch.
That sounds awesome.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm telling you, I've been scouring the earth for this box of cereal.
We'll keep our eyes
I
open.
haven't seen it.
I
don't
found
know.
it.
Oh,
last
you did?
night.
Where
okay.
at?
Maybe is it like a Christmas?
Yeah. It
Ah.
got so bad. My hankering for it got so bad. I was on Amazon.
Oh,
for
man.
it.
Oh, that's how I
Gotcha.
feel about the s'mores cereal. There's a s'mores
that
cereal
what you like?
discontinued in 2019, and I can't. There's no way I can't eat it anymore. And I
I'll
want.
take
I
a
get like
collectible at
random.
this point.
Like, you know how you like randomly like have those moments where like it smells like my kindergarten classroom from 8 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Smell
Yeah.
trigger lots of memories.
Yes. It's s'mores cereal every
Okay.
single time. I can't find it
Oh.
anywhere.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it'll come back.
It won't.
I was looking at like the little frozen popcorn shrimp today, and I was going to buy it.
Oh,
It
I
was
love
like
popcorn shrimp.
$10 for a bag of it, and I was like, no, I guess I'm back to fish sticks if I want to do this because you
Do
can
you
still
like
get
fish
fish
sticks?
sticks.
Yeah.
Fish sticks.
Okay.
You could still get for like $4, but I just didn't
And
get
they're
either.
so good.
Fish sticks are great.
And it's
When I was a kid, I loved to make a sandwich out of them.
Uh-huh.
White bread, American cheese, ketchup,
Amen.
and 4 fish sticks.
Can I go home with you guys?
It was really good, and then macaroni and cheese.
No more tether.
It was delicious. I would still eat it.
And if you close your eyes and think hard enough, it could be chicken.
Okay.
If you wanted it to be,
Yeah.
It's just mystery meat in there anyway.
That
it's
is
just
true.
minced up fish.
Minced up fish.
Mhm.
You do eat like a 10-year-old.
No, I don't.
Did you just see what she ate for lunch?
a wheat tortilla wrap,
Every 10-year-old's favorite. They love wraps.
chicken and cheese and pickles and mustard.
Okay.
That's my lunch every day at work.
Put that on white bread. There you
Wow.
go.
But it's lacking two things that a 10-year-old would not eat, though, which is lettuce and tomato.
Ah, yes.
That's just a lot of work.
You
She
didn't
does
s-
eat tomatoes.
Okay,
I
good.
just eat tomatoes like plain. I don't really.
Oh.
I mean, I'll eat them on a
Okay.
sandwich, but like little tomatoes, I'll buy a little thing at Walmart of like grape tomatoes and just eat them,
Amen.
Grape tomatoes.
or little
Cherry tomatoes?
There's- Well,
Okay.
some are grape.
I've never heard them called
tomatoes.
grape tomatoes.
Yeah,
Until just now.
There you go.
yeah.
I do this really cool thing. So I work 12-hour shifts. I do this
Oh.
neat thing where from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., will not have a drink of water, will not eat a single thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so busy. And then go home and eat 4,000 calories.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you need to be
Yeah.
drinking water throughout the day.
Oh,
He's
then
busy.
You would have to pee,
Yeah.
and you have to make time.
Okay.
That's the problem I have.
See, I feel you.
I'm like, anybody can help me.
I
And they're
drink
like,
stuff all day long at work.
Well, see, like, since I'm a
Booze.
full-time
No.
student with a job, like, I'm everywhere all the time. Like, my lunch on Monday, Wednesday, Friday is whatever I can find at the gas station
Listen,
next to where I work. Which
since
is
we're
always
talking
beef
about-
jerky.
The first play we ever did, we had a kiss. My favorite was before the play, she'd come in eating
The same thing every
a
time.
fillet of fish from McDonald's.
Oh, my God.
And I'm over there trying to be like, I'm brushing my teeth. And I would be like trying to have fresh breath.
Yeah.
And this is like, as I remember just as it got closer, I was just like, God bless.
Oh no, I didn't
Oh.
stink.
Oh my
It just smelled like a
gosh.
fish sandwich. It's not like
right. You had like a McRib.
Yeah.
it would have been fine. It just smelled like food.
So I thought, I should come in eating an onion like an apple. Just,
That sounds good.
Like garlic breadsticks,
like,
oh,
onion,
yeah.
fish.
You know who else likes filet of fish?
Who?
Donald Trump.
Oh, gosh.
He also likes a weird combination of food.
go ahead.
Who's the other person that
Yeah.
likes filet of fish? There's another famous person that I don't like that likes filet of fish.
Rumsfeld? I don't know.
No, I don't remember.
Mike Pence
No.
Mike
seems
Pence.
up his
Seems-
alley.
yeah, it
'cause
does
he's
seem about
Catholic.
I
right.
love no, he's not. He's not Catholic.
Is he Catholic?
I don't think
He's
so.
Protestant.
Oh,
Or like hard.
He's
that's
probably
his
like-
problem.
He's probably like
Hardcore.
Southern Baptist.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
No, who was Catholic that ran for president?
JFK was Catholic.
Oh, that's it.
Joe Biden is Catholic.
Oh,
Oh, really?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
If Julie was president, she would cater it would be popcorn chicken and
With
corn
corn on the cob. On a stick.
Popcorn shrimp.
Well,
Oh,
now,
shrimp.
well,
Sorry.
now with the
Sorry,
corn on the
sorry.
cob, she cuts it off with a knife.
Yes,
Mm.
I don't like getting
Okay.
corn stuck in my teeth when I eat it.
She don't like in cob form.
I mean, I could still eat it one little kernel at a time,
but with a fork.
No, I would still. I could still do it, but
I'll
it's
send
just
y'all some
that it
pictures
takes a
later.
long time. Like I'm not trying to drag out my experience now because I'm going through a 57-page PowerPoint about school law.
Oh, I know what I'm preparing for next dinner.
Yeah.
If you'll direct your attention to slide
Okay.
13.
Well,
yes.
I
Oh,
have to,
let's,
I have to go get Eli
right.
and go to rehearsal. I'm not going to be late to rehearsal.
all right, we'll wrap
Okay.
it up. Thank you both
Okay.
for coming.
Thank
Oh, wow.
you
Hold
for
on,
having
hold on,
us.
hold on. We're going to say goodbye. Thank you all for coming.
I'm
Thank
going to
you all very
say
much.
vote for Charles Booker for
Oh,
sure.
Yes,
Yes,
vote for
vote for
Charles
Booker.
Booker.
I
Vote for
noticed
Booker.
with
Yes.
matching signs. I have a Charles Booker sign on my front
Okay,
yard.
yes.
I think that would be
Yeah.
there are other voting opinions I definitely have too, but with that one, I think it would just be like a fun like shock for the nation, and they would talk
Yeah.
about like, oh my gosh, we didn't even try to support this guy because we thought it was such a long shot. And
Yeah,
it
yeah.
happened.
Right, like Andy Bashir and his governor's race.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's nice not to be made fun of in the national
Oh man.
spotlight sometimes.
Except Kentucky losing to Tennessee yesterday.
Yeah, they didn't lose. They got destroyed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whoops. Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
All right.
Okay.
Well, it's been great
Uh,
having you guys.
Oh, great.
I have to go pick up
thanks.
Eli and go to
All right.
rehearsal.
All
Okay.
right. Woohoo. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.